What's up, YouTube? You're watching Faith by Flight. My name is Cole. Welcome to another video about your military career. Today we're primarily going to be talking about the officer side of things, and this is how to use your money wisely or not. I'm not a financial advisor, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. I am not responsible for your financial decisions. So the basics, you get paid twice a month, the 1st and the 15th. This is all based on a pay chart, which will give you your base pay, which I have in the next slide. You'll get half of what that base pay says on the 1st, and you'll get the second half on the 15th. It is all based on your rank and time in service. So whenever you promote, your pay goes up. The more time you spend in service, the more your pay goes up. Again, that is also explained in the next chart. BAH is added to it. It's your basic allowance for housing. This allows you to pay for rent and utilities if you decide to live off base. And you have a BAS, which is your basic allowance for subsistence, which is for food primarily. And then flight pay, which everyone loves. And like I said before, this is all added to your base pay and taxed together. From what it seems on my end, it may not be the actual case. See an actual military financial advisor for information on that. So here is the base pay chart. If you look in the 2 or less column and the 01, it is $3,395.80. If you look at 02 with 2 or less, $3,901.20. And then after you become an 02, because to go from an 01 to an 02, it takes 2 years. So you're in that 2 or less bracket. Your third year in the military, you get another pay raise to $4,442.70. So that's pretty great. The entire pay scale is here, so take a peek at it. If you're an 01 with over 40 years in service, God help you. That's all I got to say. BAH, so this is all based on different criteria. Again, like I said before, you have to live off base in order to get this. It is all based on your rank, cost of living in the local area, and whether you have dependents or not. So again, like with the base pay, the higher your rank, the higher your pay. And then also the cost of living in the area. If it's low, you're going to get a relatively low number. If it's a very high number, you're going to get a relatively high number, as demonstrated below with Kingsville versus San Diego. So an 02 without dependents living in Kingsville is making $1,587. An 02 with dependents is making $1,866, whereas in San Diego, California, those numbers are basically doubled. An 02 without dependents, $3,321, and an 02 with dependents is making $3,648. Again, this is to afford basic housing for yourself in the area, whether you're renting or you're putting a mortgage on a home, so on and so forth. Flight pay. So these numbers are kind of old. So this is your years in aviation service, including your flight training. So if you are in flight training for 2 years, as most people are, you're going to be making $125. And then once you get out to the FRS, you're going to be making over that. And then the pay continues to go on, the more time you spend flying. So you can take a peek at that. Pause this if you need to. Financial planning. So if you go to OCS, ROTC, or the Academy, or if you're an enlisted member watching this, you're probably going to get a ton of briefs on this over at Great Lakes at boot camp. They're going to talk about TSP, Roth IRA, and different money management companies. TSP, they have the traditional and the Roth, and then I think there's even a blended version now. So all of this is going to be up to your own discretion. I max out my TSP with the military to their max match percentage. So the military has a certain percentage that they will match and give and basically add to what you add. So you're doubling your money, and I match that. And then I try to max out my IRA every year. And then I use Edward Jones personally for money management. They do a really good job. I know a lot of other guys use Charles Schwab. I know some that use Edward Jones. I know some that use some other companies. But I just stick with Edward Jones. They do a great job. And then I have my own spending rule whenever it comes to financial planning that has nothing to do with this. So let's move on to this. Maybe you can use this for yourself. So live on 75% of your calculated total of base pay and BAH. So this will take out all the taxes and some, so you can have some extra cash available for emergency funds after you do all your financial planning with what's left over. So The example for today is O2 without dependents located in Kingsville, Texas, and 2 or less years in service. This is using all the previous charts that we used, so you can go back and double check this stuff. So this is using the base pay chart, and then if you just Google BAH in whatever area you want to look at, it will pop it up for you, populate it. So base pay for this person, $3,901.20. BAH, $1,587. So the total with that is $5,488.20, which is pretty great. With taxes taken out of that, I believe you're going to be taking around $5,000 a month. But if you use the 75% rule, which is what I use, you're taking home $4,116.15. Now, what I do with this, I pay rent, I pay my utilities, I pay for the internet, I pay for my cell phone bill, and I pay my car bill. So I do all those things, and food, of course, with that allotted amount of money, and I'm still able to put another $500 to $1,000 away for emergency funds into my savings. So it is extremely important to be smart with your money. The actual take-home pay, $5,000 a month. I mean, you can do a lot with $5,000. That $5,000 stretches a long way, especially in the military, because there tends to be a lot of days where the group just gets together in the squadron. People bring in food. You're getting free food. And then, I mean, you're not at home a whole lot. So, I mean, you can bring your own lunch. You can go buy lunch. I mean, that $5,000 goes a really long way. So, I mean, with that 75% rule and the actual take-home amount, I mean, you're bringing home an extra $900 in emergency funds on top of what you're already putting away. So, really shouldn't be anything too crazy. Just be smart with your money. I'm going to get to that here in a second. So the reality for single members, this does not include married members that have to deal with children, but it could. You should not be in any financial difficulty unless it is self-induced. Self-induced, I mean, you bought an Ensign Mobile as soon as you got out of OCS or OTC or the academy. You got the newest, greatest vehicle, and now you're paying over $1,000 a month for a car. Yes, $1,000 a month, because this has happened. I have seen it happen. I personally know a couple people that were paying $1,200 a month for a vehicle that they didn't need, which takes significant amount out of that 75% rule that I have. So be smart. Your car payment in reality shouldn't be more than $500 a month, possibly even $300 a month. So be smart with your money. Don't buy that new Ensign Mobile. You don't have to go get that new gun that people are talking about, because yes, there are people here that are really into guns like myself, and I would really like to have the latest best thing. I would like to build my own stuff, but it's probably not the best idea at the time. Your main priority is getting through whatever training you're assigned to, whether it be flight, SWO training, so on and so forth. Those are really the only two that I really know anything about. So you make enough to make ends meet and some. If you don't want to live off base and have to pay for utilities, housing, and whatever else, you can always live on base, save you that extra money. But then again, you can also, make some extra money with your BAH if you get a rent that is less than what your BAH actually is. So all in all, just be smart with your money. If you're in financial troubles, it's probably because you're doing something stupid with your money as it is, or you had something previously that is hindering you from making profitable gains in your military career. You should not be poor as an officer in the military. That's where I'm going to leave that. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate your time. I'll have another video out soon. And until then, I'll see you in the next one.